It is time to make the sound to summon the stream. Greetings, dear viewers. I'm Coil Quickcard, and welcome back to the Community RPG Maker Project. For more than a year, we have been working on creating a game while integrating as many suggestions and ideas from commentators and viewers as possible. It's been a weird time, and today we are going to continue. So I have several things on today's agenda. I'm probably going to be streaming only for like an hour and a half, 2 hours max today. Realistically, that's going to be enough time probably to get through all of the things that I have on the agenda, or at least most of them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our dialogue on the catfolk shaman in the village that actually leads us toward the dock and activates the dock scenes. Second, we are going to brainstorm the captain and the first mate's fight mechanics. Third, we're going to integrate the new fight mechanics along with this new boss music provided by Coles. Thank you very much. We're going to test the boss fight, make sure it's all good. They both have shamans, it's fine. Give the boss some kind of unique loot item. I want to do that. Add a few books to the information center back in Spiretown, specifically on the Jungle Temple back in Wallachia, Batfolk and Catfolk in general, and the Pepsi Corporation. Next thing, I want to develop new skills, upgraded skills for the dragon forms that we have so far. Update the dragon buff mechanic in order to actually add these new skills. And we're going to start working on integrating a storm dragon. It is a fight that you can find out in the overworld, somewhere here in the traversable parts of the water. Somewhere there. Interesting. Somewhere out on the water, we will have a battle with a storm dragon, an optional battle to get another dragon form. I think it's a good joke, Suleiman. Alright, so first things first, the Catfolk Shaman. Alright. So, how are they going to introduce this? Outsiders. Now that is surprising. You shouldn't linger here. These lands are on the brink of war. I would disagree, Suleiman. Powerful rockets absolutely damage the ground beneath them when they launch, and we have explicitly launched spacefaring vehicles into asteroids in order to pursue scientific study. Both of those things are, in fact, groundbreaking. These lands are on the brink of war. I don't know how things got so bad between the Catfolk and Batfolk so quickly. I have been trying to calm things down, but without any success. If I could just get some more catnip, it might help everybody relax. Come to think of it, we were supposed to receive a shipment by now. I hope nothing bad is going on down at the docks. We were supposed to receive a shipment by now. Hello, Lux. Welcome to the stream. Receive a shipment by now. I hope nothing bad is going on down at the docks. It would surprise me if Katasby went there. He does enjoy his drugs. Okay. So, it's not great dialogue, but it's something at least to activate it. Okay, that should be fine. So if the dock event's active, There we go. We'll just have the shorter version of dialogue after you've already talked to her. Alright, and then that opens up access to the docks. I have also integrated now all of the bestiary updates for everything in the swamplands, except the stuff in the docks so far, since that's not quite in its final form yet. Anyway, let's move on to the second thing on today's agenda. Let's start brainstorming the battle mechanics. This is going to be a boss fight. It's going to start with Captain Klava, and then either partway through the fight or maybe just right at the start, it's going to summon in First Mate Goldback. I read your puns. They are simply not my priority. So, boss mechanic ideas. One idea that has been good is that they steal the party's bottle caps, possibly use it to heal themselves. Hello, Mystic. Welcome. Right, Goldback shield mechanics. That's another one. So what else? Let's take a look at what Katasby has for right now. He's got Beast Blind, Bird Blind, Echolocate, Use the Drugs, Vine Storm, Swarm Call. Okay, he has Echolocation, which removes blindness and increases the chance to hit or crit. So I think we should have something that blinds. Hello, Aubrey. Welcome to the stream. So I think we should have a blind, just so that Katasby can do this. Honestly, the hit rate, that can be way higher. That can be way higher. So, enemy buff to increase evasion. Enemy debuff blind. Those are both things that Katasby can work past. Yeah, I like the idea of pocket sand. That's a good one. Let's see. So we're gonna have pocket sand and Goldback has an ability to protect the captain, which activates the shield. I like the idea of stealing the party's bottle caps. Hello, next. Boss or minion buffs themselves when the other dies. That's not too hard to integrate. Enemy buffs when the other dies. So... So what other kind of moves can we integrate? I don't know if we want to go 50%. I think maybe Clawba's at, like, I don't know, 75% to spawn. We still don't really know how the fight actually functions. Let's take this blinding light ability. And this is gonna just be pocket sand. We're just gonna have it say pocket sand. It has a 50% blind chance. It hits all enemies. And we'll give it... There we go. That's a good animation for Pocket Sam. Okay. We'll take shield. Not gonna lie, invisible enemies that you need to reveal with echolocation would be interesting. Hold on. Hold on. This is interesting. What if Goldback is getting an action every turn? Goldback is getting actions every turn, or at least it will look like they're getting actions every turn, but does not appear until Captain dies or Katasby uses Echolocate. Echolocation, being able to detect invisible enemies, is actually something that we can integrate. Oh, I like this. It's no problem, Lux. Thanks for stopping by. Reveals invisible enemies. Removes blindness from Katasby and increases chance to hit and crit. Okay, reveals invisible enemies. I like this. I like that a lot. So, Echolocate used. And it will happen the moment that it occurs. So we attach a common event onto echolocation. Common event number 57. So this is echolocate reveal. So you use that and it activates echolocation. And that is when the enemy is revealed. First mate Goldback has been revealed. And before the text, we have enemy appearance. First mate Goldback appears. That should work exactly like let's test it. We should have Goldback appear as soon as we use echolocate. First Make Goldback has been revealed. We can use echolocation. We can use echolocation and okay, hold on. It was cycling it. How about we do it just once per battle? Try it that way. Can there be an egg drop from bird enemies? There are no bird enemies that we are dealing with today. First Make Goldback has been revealed. Okay. That works. That absolutely works. Okay. And then after this happens, we turn off the echolocation switch. And we will also turn off the Goldback invisible. We'll turn off the Goldback invis switch. Okay. So then when the fight starts, we will turn on the Goldback invisible switch. And then we can use battle events to have additional actions occurring as though Goldback is there and invisible. Can there be a hornbill bird? Okay. Aubrey, you're back on pets again. Luckily, I have prepared something to hopefully satisfy your need for pets. Aww. There. Does that help? Does that help satisfy the need for animals? Okay, this is absolutely awesome. So, Goldback shields the captain. So how do we do that? Something is shielding the captain. Okay. And then this will be Goldback is shielding the captain. So two different distinct things. Each of them have a scope of all allies. So this will be shield hidden. This will be shield shown. We'll just label these as Goldback so I can see it. Add a magical chest with a lot of gold. And in anticipation of your suggestion, I also prepared something else. There you go. We added a mimic. Okay. So on turn... at turn end, on turn 2, we will force the action to use the skill Goldback Shield Hidden. Okay. That's good. But also only if Goldback Invisible is on. And at the end of every 6 turns. Yes, I presume you mean this sound, right? Well, I tried to move my candle closer to the microphone and it decided to go out. Hold on, I can fix this. That's not the candle, that's the sound of my electric arc lighter. Electric arc lighter. There we go. Now the candle's back. Okay, so on turn 2, and then every 6 turns after that, if Goldback is invisible, it will use the Hidden Shield power. And then if the Goldback switch is not on... Why candle? Because I find it pleasant. Then we'll use the Goldback Shield shown. Let's actually reduce this a turn. And that'll be first make Goldback. What does it smell like? This one is lavender. Oh, hold on. These need to activate once per turn, not once per battle. Okay, so we now have the shield mechanics. And the echolocation to reveal the boss. So let's make sure this functions. Right. Let's take the abilities off of them for the purposes of testing. First make Goldback is shielding the captain. Not the message I wanted. Oh, right. No, okay, it did that because the switch wasn't on. But that's fine. That's fine. That works. Make it drop its skin, which is used as armor material. Feel like it would be funny. The reason why there's no pets is because Tepsi yeeted. Alright. More talk about pets. Pocket sand. That's an important one. Hold on, give me a minute. I might be able to satisfy you if I loot this. So the stealing... Oh, you want mimics too. Okay. Hold on. We just need to order these differently. And loop. And there you go. Okay. Now everybody can be happy. Is this what everybody wanted? This is probably what everybody wanted. Oh, whoops! I don't have the chest or looping. There, my mistake. I didn't have the chest right then. Everybody's good. Everybody's happy now. Okay, good. I'm glad we fixed that. So I just lower the sound. No. No, I have created those explicitly to be insufferable and annoying. And I intend to leave them insufferable and annoying. How do I do this? Okay, this is gonna be kind of awkward. So it has no scope. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't heal any damage. No, wait. Okay. The scope is everybody. No, that doesn't work. Alright. This is going to be the move to steal bottle caps, and then we use it to affect people. Not annoying at all, to be honest. I don't believe you. Something stole some of your bottle caps. Okay. Something stole some of your bottle caps. It doesn't have any animation. No, it should have an animation on one enemy at random. Add the null state so it'll at least apply that. Something stole some of your bottle caps. So then it needs to run an event for bottle cap steal, where the first thing it's going to do is generate a random number of bottle caps. So let's say a random number between 1,000 and 3,000. Bone broth is not really an ammo. Let's see, 1,000 and 3,000. And then we check if gold... this is going to be a pain in the ass. We set temp B equal to the amount of gold that the party has. Then if temp A is greater than temp B, then we set temp A equal to the amount of gold the party has. So that way, in either case, temp A is now the value that we are working on. Okay. So V9, no, V9, I think that's the correct amount here, and that is V9 bottle caps stolen. Add a nuke. No. So bottle caps are stolen. You reduce your bottle caps by an amount equal to temp A. And then you force an action. So enemy 1 to do skill number 413, which is a heal which affects one ally with a certain hit and it does an HP recovery equal to, and hopefully this works, V9. Okay. And slash your bottle caps are being eaten. Okay, so we steal the bottle caps. So this is the bottle cap heal. So you use the steel bottle caps. It applies an invisible state so that it actually will show the animation. Then it runs the bottle cap steal event. Okay. I think that works. So that is something stole some of your bottle caps, and then we have steel bottle caps. If Goldback has been revealed, this is one of his regular abilities. So for the purposes of testing, we'll just make him constantly doing that. And then, just for the purposes of testing, at the end of the first turn, we will force Captain Klaba to do the steel bottle caps. Alright, let's see how this works. So he should steal bottle caps and then heal himself for an equal number of health. Stole some of your bottle caps. 0 bottle caps stolen because we didn't have any. And then he heals himself. Okay. So that did work the way that I wanted it to, which is good. And this will happen if Goldback is invisible on turn 3. And then every several turns after that. Okay. So steel bottle caps. That's something that he does. On turn 1, and then every 5 turns after that, this guy will use Pocket Sand. So that takes care of, they steal the party's bottle caps to heal themselves. That takes care of the blind debuff. So we've gotten most of the mechanics of this fight figured out so far. And yeah, it's pretty much just an ogre sprite. Okay. Wondered what the other Pepsi portation grid dimensions look like. Alien, unknowable, and scary. Anyway, you wanted a nuke, so I guess we'll satisfy that with debug code 321. There you go. Okay, so when one dies, the other gets a buff. Let's make them quite a bit faster. Buff up the defenses. We'll give gold back 15,000 HP. We'll give Captain Klaba 25,000 HP. Now let's just go with 20,000 HP. Buff up their defenses a little bit. And buff that up a little bit. Okay. This will be good for 500 experience. This will be good for 500 experience. And we'll get a crap load of money out of it, which is fine. Jungle is filled with deep sea critters. Fills this one. Have you seen the Chimera Shark in the deep sea? I believe I have seen the Chimera Shark. I think so. That does sound vaguely familiar. So we need just a generic buff. We'll just say so-and-so is filled with rage. Okay. So attack goes up by, I don't know. Let's increase the attack by a little bit. Magic defense by a little bit. Agility by a third. And luck by a third. So this is going to be the boss buff. And we'll just use that. That's fine. Okay. So if enemy HP Captain Klaba hits 0% or below, then we change the enemy state of Goldbeck to add the boss buff. This needs to be once per turn. And then if Goldbeck dies, then Captain Klaba gets the buff instead. So now they buff when the other one dies. And then they need a buff to increase evasion, I guess. Instead of double attack, let's just go with big regular attacks, body slams. Grasp? What the hell does Grasp do? Is that just a paralysis? Yes. Okay, so that's fine. Goldback also gets regular attacks. Pocket Sand is rated higher, so it's used more consistently. We can give some spells to Goldback. Ice Burst 3 every other turn. And burn every other turn. Why not? That should be fine. And then every 3 turns, this guy might do an earthquake. And we may just have a boss fight here. Oop. Hold on. That might work. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've really missed here for this fight. Yes, actually there is. Goldback needs to be attacking every turn without being seen. Something unseen attacks. I need to be on topic. I gave up the concept of trying to keep these streams on topic a long time ago. But then at the end of every turn, while the Goldback invisible switch is on, we force action attack random. That goes once a turn. Okay. Let's test the full boss fight. Hello. Yep. And you're good. Yes, Thatcher wants to learn Chaos Bolt. Thatcher should... Yep, Thatcher just learns Chaos Bolt. That's good. That's the way it should be. Everyone is pretty much healed. But we can save. Alright, let's advance. Well, actually, let's go fishing. I caught a 52-pound fish. I'm a hero. And then if I go to my inventory, we can cook the fish. Now we have a cooked fish. Alright. Down in the docks. And... now we have the fight. That's fine. Chaos Bolt. Perfect. It did nothing. Cole's crowbar works, though. Ooh, unless it misses. Alright, precise strike. Shield broken. Let's go with double claw. Wrong target. Thatcher, show us how good the Chaos Bolt is. 224. That was not great. Fire Breath. God damn, these guys are tough. Like, a lot tougher than I had hoped. Interesting. It really feels like I am not doing as much damage as I should be. Okay, these guys definitely have too much health. Alright, there are some real tweaks that need to happen right now. Debug code 3 to save. Okay. So, first things first. Goblin Pirate. That is an absolutely insane amount of defenses. And by the same token, these guys absolutely need their defenses reduced. This guy's having to have an evasion rate of 10%. Raise the boss's hit rates up to 100. Goblin Pirate, we are taking that health down all the way to 1900. even the crowbar was not doing as much as it should, and I don't really understand why. Oh, right, because I was regular attacking. I wasn't using heavy metal bash, that's why. Okay. That's fine. So, a big thing I realized is that we need a way to heal here. But I don't really need to make that work right now. Let's just go straight for the boss fight and test it. Heavy metal bash. We're going to use the drugs. We're going to go for a few turns where the captain, before Goldback appears. Pocket sand. Why is nothing happening? Why are my triggers not going off? Okay. Okay. So we've got some problems. Force action. If the switch Goldback. If Goldback is invisible, then we use Goldback shield hidden. So it really should just say something is shielding the captain. Okay, so the messaging is fixed. Okay. So we need a check here. So if Goldback invisible is off, then we do that. Okay, I think that's good. Chaos Bolt is fine. We need to add various resistances to the bosses now. So we need to, first off, yeah, that's fine. We need resistance to confusion, charm, hex, enrage, control, collapse effect, gravity blind, expose, stun. All of those conditions need to be put here. Okay. That's fine. And then I also need... healing. So Elena is going to say, you look hurt. Here, I have some extra soda. So say, now get back in there. We can't leave until we have dealt with these cowardly cretins. So this will add a full party heal, which is important. We show an animation on the player for healing. And we do a full recovery on the players. And a full recovery is somewhere around here. There we go. Recover all, fixed. Now get back down there. Alright, so that is that event. Okay, so we fixed that. Look, Kurt, here I have some extra soda. Now get back in there. We can't leave until we have dealt with these cowardly cretins. The problem is that it doesn't step me back. Okay. So then the next thing we do is we move the player down and then gather followers. Copy. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right. So these fights should be a lot more manageable now. That was a hell of a hit. Katasby, precise strike. Just how strong can Chaos Bolt be? 307. Chaos Bolt needs to be stronger. Cool. Okay. So, Chaos Bolt... Chaos Bolt, Chaos Bolt, Chaos Bolt. We're going to have it scale a lot better. The regular bolts are 100 plus AT2. Let's buff that up to 200. That should be better now. Yes, that's fine. Okay. Next important thing. We need to change the battle music. Just like that. And the battle music we are going for is the waves. Okay, we're going in. Fight time. Let's test the boss in all of its glory. Malter, Heavy Metal Bash. Actually, let's expose him. He can be exposed, it's just hard to do. Pocket Sand. Let's try a Chaos Bolt. Ooh, not very good. But that's fine, because Chaos Bolt is specifically worse against bosses. Let's go with a Heavy Metal Bash. That did nothing. So let's pay attention to the battle messages. Something is shielding the captain. Something unseen attacks. Okay. So we now know that there is something there that we can't see. Let's go Dragon Shift Green. That gives some protection against physical damage. Bypasses most resistances, but doesn't work. Deals less damage to bosses, is how we'll put it, I think. Ice Storm is fine. We can go with a Crystal Pepsi on Malter. Stole some of the bottle caps. He's still 943. Okay. So, things that need to be fixed. Add boss damage reduction message to Chaos Bolt. Increase Chaos Bolt to 5x and 100 base. Fix the bottle cap heal. It does not read the variable, apparently. Okay, that's fine. So, Katasby echolocates. And this is how First Mate Goldback is revealed. So this guy is weaker. We can definitely damage him more easily. Heavy Metal Bash is very powerful. Wait. Wait, my concurrent viewers count is currently at 22? When did that happen? How did that happen? Have people just shown up from somewhere? Alright, Katasby, use the drugs. 38, right. How? Why? What's going on? Yes, apparently we are being raided. First time I've been raided. It appears that the boss is not the only one attacking us right now. Well... Hello, people who apparently have just shown up. I'm Coil Quickcard, and welcome to the Community RPG Maker Project. This is an RPG that I have been building for more than a year, using as many suggestions and ideas from viewers as I can. And we are currently testing the latest boss fight which is actually proving to probably be a bit overtuned. But that's okay, because we're really just checking that the mechanics work. And so far, pretty much all of the mechanics work. Yeah, something is fishy. No one else is talking. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there are people here. I don't know why there are people here. This is weird. We're definitely going to have to reduce the damage output. That is so damn strong. And even when we take down Goldback, it's just going to make Captain Klava stronger. That's the crazy thing about this. Bottle of Pepsi on Katasby. I mean, I guess it must be bots. Shiniki Mura. Wait, hold on. Oh! No, I know Shinny. She's a VTuber. Cool. Yeah, if you're here from Shinny, welcome. Please be careful as you exit the void. I don't want anyone to trip and get hurt. I kind of need something here. We're being raided by a VTuber. Possibly? I don't know. I'm very distracted by this fight, which is going very difficult right now. Honestly, we're not doing good in this fight right now. It's definitely overtuned. That's fine, though. We can make this work. If I can beat the boss even under these conditions, it'll... Oh, right, they're both shielded. Damn it. Okay, Precise Strike. Add a puppy. You know what? You're right. To anybody who is new... Here we go. This is a rough fight. There we go. Okay, everybody gets a dog. Third of stamina. I mean, I have the chat set to live. I would expect if there are other people watching that I would see at least one chat message from them. God damn. Alright. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Okay. So the fight is definitely overtuned. We got the information we needed to fix the fight. So first things first, we're going to drop both of their defenses and HP. And do that. We are definitely lowering their attack. Yeah, I think that's fine. Is the extra attack still going off? No, no, it shouldn't be. That should work. If I'd used some of my damage over time effects, we definitely could have. We definitely could have done that better. Chaos Bolts. We're going to reduce the bonus damage to just 100, but we're going to make it scale a lot stronger. Deals less damage to bosses, just so that that's a little bit clear. And so I don't think it's able to read a variable in the formula. So honestly, why don't we just make it 1500 HP recovery with like a 50% variance? Because that would basically cover everything between values of 750 up to 2250. I think that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. The shield. The shield needs to be even less common. But I think that works. Okay, hold on. I need to check something here. This is actually moderately important. Hold on. Yeah, Sheeny just finished streaming Atrian Odyssey 3 11 minutes ago. So I do think she sent some viewers over here. Oh yeah, okay. I just got the notification. Sheeny Kimura and their viewers just joined. Hi. Is there in fact anyone here? Is there anyone here? Is there anyone out there in the darkness? Are we just howling hopelessly into the void? Alright, well, we basically got done with these goals for today. Let's think of a loot item. Let's give this boss fight a unique loot item. What could we give the boss for a unique loot item? Also, I think I want to take the various feeding abilities and put them on here. Double Talisman doubles the money earned. That's definitely doable. I mean, why not? It's a simple enough thing to do. We can just call it like the pirate's pride, and it's a very expensive thing. And if you wear it, it doubles gold just passively. Wear this colorful medallion to earn double the bottle caps in each fight. Okay. So, Pirate's Pride. First off, he's going to give you a Dr. Pepper, guaranteed. And he's also going to give you the Pirate's Pride. Okay, and now we can move on to working on the upgraded dragon abilities. So, basically the feeding skill is going to get upgraded for each of the dragon forms. So for the green dragon, it bypasses defenses. So we are going to change it a little bit. This is going to be the green bite. May also inflict a weak poison. Ignores defenses. That's fine. Sure, that works. Oh, okay, that's the green dragon ability. The red dragon ability also inflicts burn. Increase the cost by a little bit, make it a little bit more powerful. And you cause the burn. Where is burn? Burn. I guess burning. And we'll set that to 100. Bite an enemy to drain some stamina from them. Also inflicts burning. So this is going to be... No, this is going to be the burning bite. This is going to be the penetrating bite. Okay. Next up, we move on to the blue dragon ability. And this is going to be the freezing bite. Also inflicts freeze. Do I have a freeze power? I want a stronger burning. Nah, minus 5% a turn. That's okay. Do I have a freeze? Yes, I do have a freeze. Freeze can also be removed by damage. That's one of the important things about freeze. So, freezing bite. Tears at the enemy. We'll say coldly tears. Gnash's freezing fangs. Gnash's burning fangs. And then the last one is the Toxic Fang ability. Oh yeah, Fangs works is so much better. Nass's Toxic Fangs. And this is the Dark Dragon ability. And this one just does regular poison and also curse. Also inflicts poison and curse. That's pretty good. So we can poison and curse the enemy. We will rename all of these to fangs. Gnashes with sharp fangs. That's fine. Okay. And regular poison is 10%, right? Yes, it is. And the weak poison was 2%. Okay, perfect. So when we get our next dragon buff, it deletes all of the feeding skills and replaces them with these new upgraded ones. So I can make an adjustment for that if we just head to the dragon buff. So if Ryu upgrades equals 6, Light Pillar. Ridu's feeding ability has transformed into more powerful skills. Ryu's feeding skill has transformed into more powerful abilities that differ in each form. Okay, perfect. And then that establishes a base that I can use later for upgrades to things like Wing Buffet, Draconic Resilience, things like that. So this establishes a good base, I think. So this integrates Dragon Scales and Dragon Claws 7, which is a substantial upgrade, and then gets rid of the Dragon Scales 6, increases the number of Ryu upgrades. Okay. So the first thing we do is make Ryu forget his various feeding abilities. So forget feeding, forget feeding. There's one for every dragon form. It's a little tedious, but it all works out. Forget feeding, and then also forget what's going to be the extra feeding skill for the Storm Dragon form. And then Ryu learns the skills. Penetrating Fangs. Burning Fangs. Freezing Fangs. And Toxic Fangs. And also the additional skill that is still to be added. This one is going to be the Storm Dragon form, which is going to replace the Yellow Dragon skills. We're just going to call this Storm Feeding. We're just going to call this Storm Fangs. We're going to need Storm Wing Buffet. We are going to need Storm Draconic Resilience. And we are also going to need Dragon Shift Storm. And then we're also going to need a Storm Breath. So that sort of future-proofs there, so we can address those more easily next time. So we've integrated the new things, we've buffed that, we've begun working on the Storm Dragon form. We gave the boss a unique loot item. The next thing we can do... It still says I have 31 viewers. It's so weird. We want to upgrade the debug codes. We have not upgraded the debug codes in a while. Common event. Common event. We make sure that we teach Thatcher Chaos Bolt. That's an important new one. Okay. We teach Dragon Shift Storm. We teach Storm Breath. We teach Storm Draconic Resilience. We teach Storm Feeding. We teach Storm Wing Buffet. I also have 5 double claws. Dark Dragon, Dragon. That's fine. The stuff that I already have set for Yellow Dragon is fine. So that already works. We also give the Liquor skill, which is good. So I don't need another one of those. But we already actually have an extra Draconic Resilience, so we don't need that Draconic Resilience. So we can get rid of that. And we are going to change the yellow dragon form to the storm dragon form. And change the type yellow dragon to storm dragon. Yeah, we'll just keep going with like 4 characters max for this. That should be fine. We're also going to need a new Dragon Guard ability for this, which is going to use the... I don't frickin' know. Like, I've already used so many of these. I think for the... What if we went for more of a white for the Storm Dragon? Like, something that's more... yeah, like something that's supposed to be like more like a cloud or something. Because I honestly don't have very many other options. So the Storm Dragon class would also resist... No, actually, this is right. Storm Dragon resists green, blue, red, and dark. Okay. So yeah, we need to add Storm Guard resistance to each of the dragon forms. Just like that. Okay, and then Storm Guard... We're going to take these. So, reduced damage. You take no damage from lightning attacks. Form is yellow. I think that works okay. So we've got most of the stuff to build a Storm Dragon set up. We did update the debug code. So the last thing I'm going to do today, the chat completely died and disappeared. I have no idea what happened there. It's kind of odd. This has been a weird stream. Oh yeah, let's head back to the Spire Town Information Center and just add a few new books, specifically for the Jungle Temple, Batfolk, Catfolk, and the Pepsi Corporation. So we're going to have to go way back here. Okay, when the invasion is over, we can access the Jungle Temple book. Okay. And here we go. The lands around Wallachia are known to contain a number of old, ruined temples and shrines. These ancient sites predate even the necromancer cults that the region would become known for in later centuries. It is theorized by why is the sound effect after? Right, because the first sound effect is when it opens. That makes sense. Okay. It is theorized by some scholars that an ancient branch of the catfolk or batfolk may have inhabited the land before migrating to their current abodes in the marshlands. Okay, there we go. That is the book on the jungle temples. Whoops. Didn't want to cut, wanted to copy, but that's fine. For this one, after you have the boat, after boat acquired is true, then we have one for the Pepsi Corporation. Okay. The Pepsi Corporation is a pillar of modern society. Their life-saving products have improved conditions for people all around the world and at highly affordable prices and consistent quality. Sure. The Pepsi company is headquartered in the jungles and marshlands of the West, of the Western Islands, where they are able to operate their interdimensional portals and water purification processes free from regulation or oversight. And that is definitely a good thing, and nobody should be suspicious or concerned about it at all. And if you are a crazy person. The book is titled The Pepsi Corporation. An overview by the Pepsi Public Relations Department. Okay. And they definitely do not run secret cloning programs to produce their workforce. Okay, so there we go. That is the book on the Pepsi Corporation. Hello, welcome back. Next book. This is going to be on the Bat Folk. Okay. The marshland-dwelling bat folk are a race of craftsmen and warriors dating back to before the dawn of human civilization. They have always prided themselves on a close connection with nature, from which they claim to derive much of their incredible strength and skill. Do moths exist in your setting? I'm sure they're somewhere. But it sounds like you're interested in animals, so let me just see if I can do something about that. From which they derive much of their incredible strength and skill. The bat folk are usually quite welcoming and kind to outsiders. Although any who defy their laws risk having their skulls broken open by having their skulls broken open. That's enough. That's enough information on the bat folk. Okay. And then another little book on the cat folk. Okay. Let's see. Traces of the cat folk race can be found in many places around the world, although they are most centralized in the jungle climates of the Western Islands. The catfolk are a relatively young race emerging onto the global stage even more recently than the dragons. Do dog folk exist? No, because I don't have assets for them. Even more recently than the dragons. Depending on their location and circumstances, they range from violent, feral beasts to wise sages learned in the arcane arts. The catfolk of the jungle, in particular, are a civilized and well-ordered community of hunters and mages that are eager to welcome those who come seeking to welcome those who visit. Do not come between a catfolk and their beloved catnip, or you risk being torn to shreds. Okay. There. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. And with that, I have now finished all of the things on today's agenda. So I think that's going to be it for the day. Let's write down some of the things that we want to accomplish tomorrow. Or, not tomorrow, next week. Next stream. So, on the next stream, we want to finish the events at the dock. We want to finish producing the Storm Dragon player side things. Design the Storm Dragon boss fight and place it in the world. And then we're going to want to try and brainstorm and start working on the transition to Act 3, Part 2. Since everything that we have covered so far does, you know, a pretty good job of representing where we are at so far. We still need to introduce and establish the idea of the magical cats that are behind all of this. We still need to establish the root beer gods, so I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along. Anywho, yeah, I think that is going to be it for today. In theory, there's still 24 people here, which is kind of crazy. I don't know how to raid someone. I don't know how that's a thing that you do. Do I have anybody I watch that is yeah, I've got one of the people I watch is actually live right now. Why don't I see how I can ship you all off to him? How do I do that? YouTube, how to raid. Okay, hold on. Alright, go to the live tab, hover over the video you want to redirect from. Click customization, redirect. How does that work? I don't actually know. Whatever, screw it. I'll drop a link. There. Here's one of the guys that I watch sometimes. Everybody go bother him. Let him know that Quill sent you. And that it is definitely my fault. And if you choose not to do that, then I suppose I will see you all on the next one. It is time to make the sound to summon the end of the stream. Wow, 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 wow.